Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa. Last we left off, we were in the middle of this case. Well, we're getting close to finding out who the mastermind is, if you don't already know. So without further ado, let's hop into this, shall we? I need to pull myself together and think. The inconsistency in the biolab.
Hey, by the way, Makoto, what about that one thing?
What one thing?
What do you think I'm talking about? Your family.
What?
Don't tell me you forgot about that video message. So what do you think? Are you sure your family's still okay?
Why are you bringing that up now?
Your mom, your dad, your little sister. What do you think has happened to your family? Are they really as safe as you might have assumed?
Stop talking about that!
Calm down, Makoto. He wants you to get upset.
Yeah, I need to calm down. I can't let him get to me. He's just saying that because he knows we're getting close to the truth about the biolab. So if I want to shut him up and to expose the inconsistency and slam him with it. The inconsistency has to be the one area where the numbers just don't match up. The moment of truth.
Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! What do you want? Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? I'm not listening! What do you want? I'm not listening!
What the heck, man?
Is this really the end?
Yes, I want to give it
I
another
refuse
shot.
to
What
give
was
up
that?
yet.
What was that?
Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! What do you want? Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? I'm not listening! You're getting all riled up! What do you want? I'm not listening!
This should prove it.
I forgot I needed to scroll. I was wondering why it
The
wasn't.
inconsistency Kyoko's talking about is the lights.
What are you talking about? What about the lights?
Like I said before, the biolab also acts as a morgue.
Yes, yes.
And as part of that, a giant refrigerator was installed in there. That's where everyone who's died is stored.
And it was set up so that when a slot had a body in it, a blue light would turn on.
In other words, if the blue light is on, that means there's a body in that slot.
But I counted up the number of blue lights that were on, including the one Mukuro was in. And there were only 9.
Why does that matter? You gotta give me the bite-sized version here, man.
9 lights doesn't make sense. There should be 10.
I got it! 10 of the lights should have been on. Any other number is incredibly suspicious.
Suspicious? Why?
That's simple. Just recall who's died here so far, and it should become clear.
That's right. The key to solving this mystery. Hyaka. Junko. Leon. Chihiro. Mondo. Taka was 6 and then Hifumi was 7. Celeste was 8. Sakura was 9. And victim number 10 was Mukuro.
So 10 people in all?
That's right. Any other number should make you immediately suspicious. But according to the lights in the biolab, only 9 people were being stored there.
You're saying a dead body just up and disappeared?
I got it! The mastermind destroyed one of the bodies to get rid of evidence.
But if they wanted to do that, they would have destroyed Mukuro's body, since they actually killed her. And yet, her body was left alone.
Then, whose body disappeared?
It may very well be that none of them disappeared.
But if that's true, then why doesn't the body count match?
Including Monokuma's executions, there have apparently been 10 deaths, but there were only 9 bodies. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I'm completely lost. How can the number of victims be less than the number of murders?
1 body was reused. Reason there are less bodies than murders explains to the murder than the victim. Why is that? What would it take for that to make sense? There weren't actually 10 murders, but 9. That's why there aren't 9. There's 9 bodies. That's patently untrue. Counting Monokuma's executions, there have been indeed 10 murders. I think we can agree on that. Actually, you're completely right.
Shoot.
So I embarrassed myself in front of everybody. Reason there are less bodies than murders, is that we take to do that.
I got it!
There we go.
What about if the same person was killed twice?
I was wondering why it wasn't reading them.
Huh? Killed twice?
Officially, 10 murders have been committed so far. But one of the victims may have been murdered, and then murdered again.
Murdered and murdered again?
If that's the case, there could have been 10 killings, but still only 9 victims, right?
Technically, you're right, I guess. But still, something like that.
Could easily have happened. No, it is what happened.
Sounds like you're already convinced. Then can you tell us who was killed twice?
It was Mukuro, of course. Before she was killed as Mukuro Ikusaba, she was killed as someone else.
And that's why the body had to be stored in the biolab until the moment we found it in the garden.
No, that's crazy talk. She was killed as someone else? Come on! Besides, who could that someone else even have been?
All you have to do is look at those bodily injuries of hers, and that will become obvious.
Nothing's gonna become obvious! Because Kyoko's totally delusional!
You're gonna make me do this again.
Who is this someone else that Mukuro was killed as? Was it Sayaka Maizono? Junko Enoshima? Leon Kuwata? Chihiro Fujisaki, Mando Kiyotaki Fumiyama, Celestia Alu, or maybe... No, there's no way anyone was murdered twice!
Alright. So,
Who is this someone else that was it? Sayaka, Maizono, Junko, Enoshima?
There's no way anyone was murdered
thank you!
No, that's wrong.
Oh my god, I was going to murder
Junko.
somebody.
Wasn't her fatal injury pretty similar to Mukuro's?
Yes!
What do you mean?
Well, remember what happened to her? She was impaled by a bunch of spears, all over her body.
And Mukuro died from a number of wounds across her body. When you compare that to the stab wounds Junko suffered...
Then the similarities match?
Yes, and those are the only fatal injuries that match up. That explains why those two bodies are actually one and the same.
So let me see if I have this straight. Junko, or someone going by that name, was stabbed to death with multiple spears. Then her body was kept in the biolab for however long before being dragged out again. Only this time, it was presented as the corpse of one Mukuro Ikusaba.
It all matches up, right? Those wounds Junko suffered could easily be these same injuries.
Then it's really true? Mukuro and Junko are the same person? Wait, so then... what does it all mean?
It means that there haven't been 10 victims, but 9. Which also means that among the people we thought were dead, one is still alive.
And that's the true identity of the mastermind?
Who is it? Who's behind all this?
We already know the answer to that. It's Mukuro. She's still alive. She took Junko's body and made it look like she was the one who died. So Mukuro is still alive. She's gotta be. Total silence? Then I must be right. I'm right, aren't I?
Mukuro alive? The one that's still alive is Mukuro, but can we really believe that? There's no way. There's no way Mukuro Ikusaba is still alive. It should be her profile.
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
No, that's wrong.
Nope. All of the measurements match Mukuro's.
No, the body we found in the garden was Mukuro. That's one thing we can be sure of. The body's appearance and measurements are consistent with her records. Right, Kyoko?
She was 5 foot 6 inches tall and weighed 97 pounds. Her vitals were 31, 21, 32.
I thought she was 5'7".
Everything in her profile is consistent with that corpse.
And then there's the matter of the Fenrir tattoo. So there's no question it's her.
But if Mukuro's not the mastermind, then who's actually still alive?
Someone made it look like they died, but they're actually still alive. There's only one person it could be.
Here's my answer. Junko is still alive. It's the only possibility.
Are you sure about that?
Huh?
I admit, since Mukuro is undoubtedly dead, Junko does seem to be the only other explanation. But we saw her get impaled. She died right before our very eyes. If Junko were still alive, the death we saw would had to have been some kind of charade. But you yourself confirmed she was dead, did you not?
Now that you mention it. I gently placed my hand on Junko's lifeless body. I touched her wrist, checked her pulse. Like they do in movies. She really is dead. There isn't anything else to say. She was gone. I did check, absolutely, and I can
She
sure.
was dead. There's no question. Junko was dead.
So, the idea that she's still alive.
It must be wrong.
Then you're withdrawing your previous statement?
I know you gave it your best shot, but too bad. I guess your conclusion was a dud. Too bad, too bad.
This case hasn't been decided just yet.
Oh?
You haven't given up already, have you, Makoto?
Huh?
No, of course not. There's no way I'd give up that easy.
That's all well and good, but how do you intend to solve the problem standing in your way? Junko absolutely died. Mukuro absolutely died.
Then both of them are dead, right? There can't be any kind of survivor story.
I think we need to look at this from the opposite direction.
Huh? The opposite direction?
Let's assume Junko is still alive. If so, how could she have survived?
How could Junko have survived? I checked her, she was dead, I'm sure of it. But if she were alive somehow, would it be that Junko's not the one that died? Did Junko put somebody else entirely? Maybe she used some sort of trick? I need an A. Replace.
Now I understand. That's it. What if she switched places with someone else?
Switched places?
That's right. Before the spears could kill her, she got someone to take her place.
I mean, hey, that's finally using your noggin.
Specifically, Mukuro Ikusaba.
Yep. And I already knew that. But let's just keep going, shall we?
Then that would make it Mukuro's corpse that showed up later.
Which is why the body's height and weight and everything match Mukuro's profile, right?
I don't know anything about this switching places thing, but... that had to be Junko who got stabbed to death, right?
Yeah, you're saying they switched? When could they even have done that? Right when she was about to die? Like she used some kind of ninja replacement technique?
Good point. There's just no way they could have switched like that.
Yes, there
so
is.
maybe the
They're in
whole
cahoots.
idea is wrong.
Has to be some way. You forgot how to explain it.
I got it! The two of them may have switched places from the very beginning.
What? From the beginning?
Yes, from the moment we first met. If that's when they switched, then they wouldn't have had to switch at the moment of death, right? After all, the one we saw at that point would have already been Mukuro.
Hold on. So, you're saying the Junko we first met is actually Mukuro all along?
Then we'd already met her?
I had, like, a normal conversation with her.
When we first met, none of us knew who anyone else was. So Mukuro could have simply told us her name was Junko, and we never would have known the difference. That would easily allow the two of them to switch places from the very beginning.
Wait, but Mukuro had a tattoo on the back of her hand, right? Junko never had any tattoo like that, did she?
She could have hidden it with foundation or something like that. If she did, it likely melted away in the explosion, exposing the tattoo after the body was extinguished. Plus, there were the fake nails found on the hands of Mukuro's body. They were the same fake red nails she was wearing when we all met for the first time.
But if she really did use foundation...
Correct. Even if there was no tattoo on her hand, I couldn't say for certain it wasn't Mukuro. So I'm glad nobody noticed that glaring hole when we were trying to figure out who attacked Makoto.
But too bad for you, Monokuma. You can't deny it anymore.
Wait, so this whole thing was a setup from the very beginning?
Yes.
If that's true, it was quite an elaborate plan to be sure, making it look like Mukuro was Junko.
The reason such an elaborate plan was possible is because the two of them were working together.
So Mukuro, the ultimate despair, teamed up with someone like her. In other words, it would be fair to say that Junko herself was also the ultimate despair.
What's wrong? Lost the will to fight back?
I think he's just afraid.
Afraid? What's that mean, afraid? Fear is only possible where hope is possible. I only have despair, so fear is an alien concept to me.
Then why haven't you been saying anything?
Because it's a bunch of nonsense. Junko's my secret identity? As if.
Then why did you try and protect Junko's real identity?
I tried to protect her identity? When did I do that?
So he still refuses to use it, but he can't receive us all he wants. It doesn't matter, because I already figured it out. He tried to hide Junko's identity, not just once, but twice. The first time was during the latest investigation. Hold on, what matters now is presenting the right evidence. Had to do with Monokuma tried to keep from me during the investigation. So he just embarrassed myself in front of everybody.
I got it!
There we go.
While I was in the AV room, watching the DVD of our interviews with the headmaster,
it was just the moment, it was just the monitor, it wasn't just the monitor, the DVD player stuff had apparently turned off, which of course meant the DVD wasn't playing anymore. So what the heck just happened? Let's see, looks like it broke, out of service. What, it just so happened to break just now? Now then, when does it matter? Failure can strike anywhere, anytime. That's what failure is, right?
you made sure I couldn't finish watching the video. And the reason you did that is because you didn't want me to see the real Junko, did you?
Oh, yeah! If everyone was in that video, of course Junko would have had to show up!
And if Makoto saw the real Junko, it would have been totally obvious that the Junko we met was an imposter.
That whole power outage thing was just a fluke!
No, it wasn't a fluke. The Mastermind definitely orchestrated the power outage. And that's not the only time they tried to hide Junko's identity. Mastermind tried to cover up another piece of evidence. I gotta reveal that. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, remember to hit like and subscribe. That way YouTube will bring you back here. I just... Don't you want to see the end of this? I hope you had a good day. I'll see y'all next time.